And we're good. Welcome back to another episode of the Los Cafeteros podcast. I'm here with Xavier. How we doing, my guy?
Good, man. Good, George. Ready to go, brother. Talk a little bit football de Colombia.
I'm good. Yeah. So we were out. I was out for the post game for after Uzbekistan. Tell me about you. What you thought about the game?
You were partying. No, I thought that Colombia did what they needed to do. I know that there's people criticizing, the way the game was played, they did second half, blah, 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 blah. But if you take in consideration this tournament, how these small teams have complicated the big teams, how some of them have tied, have now gotten the result. I was fine with the 3-1. I was fine with the result. Obviously, there's room to improve, but we talked about how they showed grit, they showed resilience, they got the job done. Another time maybe they would have tied the game, or perhaps not. Who knows? Could have even lost. But it was a game that was a little complicated. A rival that's not as terrible as people think, and a 3-1 was a good result for Colombia. And now this game is going to tell us a lot more than the last one did.
No, man, I totally agree. I think that game had everything written on it. Like the atmosphere inside the Azteca was infectious. It was, it made your FOMOs, quería estar ahí. Um, it was probably it was a dream start. It was, what like we say, sufre un poquito, pero they maintained as well, and that was it was a good complete 90 minutes.
Yeah, right here on the chat, they're saying Cucho Hernandez with the player of the 2026 World Cup tournament already, right? That's a fantastic play, and that's one of the things. I took several key points from that game, and that's one of the major ones because that's one of the ones that shows the desire, the grit, the resilience that I was talking about. Because this was late in the game, they're up 2-1. He could have kind of like run back. No, he went, he fought, he got knocked on his ass, he got up. This guy's bigger than him. He went and body stuck his leg out, could have gotten injured, doesn't care, was playing, giving it 120%, got the ball, saved it, did a nice, smart enough to take a nice move, looked up and put a perfect dime. And then Campas, the 5'5", he looked like he was like 6'5". The way he got up there and just finished it. And this is, to me, this is a different Colombia. It's always been a team that shows promise, does stuff, but always falls a little short. The effort sometimes was a little short. At least in this game, I felt that the effort was there. I felt like they're working into something greater, and that's why I'm really hyped about tomorrow's game because Congo is a pretty good team. People didn't have a lot of information about them, but you can see that they're going to complicate people. It's a complicated team. So if Colombia can pull off, which I'm hoping, dominate the match, control their pace, keep the ball, and win convincingly. Convincingly meaning controlling most of the match, looking like the better side, looking like the side that's showing promise in the tournament. Then I will be super, super happy because I see that they're making steps. They're taking steps and they're doing what good teams do because other good teams have been complicated. Even these last few games recently, even I know France just won and it shows 3-0, but that was a complicated game for them from a lot of the action. And these teams are complicating Iraq, Iran. These teams are complicating other teams that are not expecting the level of play and the intensity. So that's what I want to see from Colombia tomorrow.
You mentioned that, but like what's so funny about that now is that for a tournament that the non-soccer people are saying and just like all those soccer players suck because they don't take the game serious or they flop so much or actúan mucho, they act so much. It's like we can point to this Cucho video and be like, hey, this is what they also do, this is what they also can play like, and this is the fight that they actually can do instead of trying to earn an Oscar.
Yeah, the new rules are helping. The new rules are helping, making sure that you can't waste time, making sure you can't just be flopping, making sure that if you're down and you say you're hurt and they come in, you better be hurt because now they're going to take you out and you're going to have to wait at least a minute. You're going to leave your team. So people are thinking twice about it, which I love those new things. But let me tell you something. Maybe I don't mean to be biased because I consider myself a soccer player. Though, like when I was a kid, I played all the sports. But I think soccer people are usually well rounded. At least like when I was growing up in school, not too many people played soccer, right? I played soccer, but I also played baseball,
Hmm.
football, basketball. I picked up all those things as a child, and I was pretty good at those. Plus, I was good at soccer. There's not a lot of other people that are good at all these sports and then also good at soccer. I think like soccer players are are are, are easy to like pick up the other sports too. So we're better athletes than people think. Look at the game right now that they just played, which was Norway and Senegal.
I
These
didn't get to
guys,
watch much of that one.
I watched it. These guys look like Vikings for real. These guys are huge, huge.
Yeah,
And then you see a guy like Holland, like 6'4", running like a sprinter, and then leaping like a high jumper. It's
these guys are
amazing.
built different. They're built different.
Right. They're better athletes than people think, and the contact and the physicality and the extreme that physical nature of the game, meaning that you have to have you're running 90 minutes, the heat, fast pace, you slow down, you're getting hit. There's a lot to the game that people don't understand, and that's why I don't think it's as tough as it is. It's tough on your joints, it's tough on everything. Sometimes you go up and you get elbowed in the back of the head. So it's a really nice game. It's very complicated, intricate. It's there's 11 on 11. It's so hard
There's
to
a lot
score.
of nuance that people don't know
Right,
about
people
that.
get pissed because there's not a lot high scoring, but there's, yes, the word is nuance. There's so much to the game, to the art. That's why it's a beautiful game.
Hmm. Bueno, so that was a great. Honestly, that was one of the best ways because Colombia could start this World Cup and just give the country and players belief. Granted, it was Uzbekistan, but you know what? You play on who's on your schedule. And okay, mañana we got the guys who took down Cristiano Ronaldo and their crew. How do you feel about Congo for tomorrow night?
I think it's going to be a really complicated game. I sound like one, the typical cliche. Oh, va a ser un partido difícil. It's gonna be a difficult game. I like Congo. I like the spirit, and this is one of the things that this World Cup is doing. They criticize all 48 teams. The level's going to be low. Blah, blah, blah. These smaller teams are bringing not only atmosphere to the stadiums, but they're bringing passion to the pitch, and they're playing well. I think Congo is a strong a strong side. It's going to be a big test for Colombia. Once again, if Colombia is up to the task, if Colombia is really going to do something different in this tournament that they have done in previous tournaments, this game's going to show me, at least, because I'm going to look at it and see what they're doing different. If they're going to propose, if they're going to be the dominant side, if they're going to be the ones that are going to take control of the action, and if these our figures, our star players, are going to be difference makers. Because today, Argentina's game, the difference was Messi.
Mhm.
Austria is another smaller team that people think, and they played very well. They played a very strong game, played a really good match. And the difference is Argentina has the GOAT, and Argentina has stars all over the pitch, stars all in every position, like a loaded, one of the favorites. And they beat Austria because of the GOAT. Because I think if you take Messi out of that team, it's a
It's
lot more
completely
even.
different Argentina team.
It's a lot more even, right? That matchup could have gone either way. So if Colombia is able to do something tomorrow night, if they're able to show that they're strong, then I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be positive and think that this tournament is open right now. It's open. I only see like maybe France, and even though they got complicated, like even the strong teams look vulnerable. So this is one of the most open tournaments I've seen in a while, where it's not
It's
like you
very,
have.
it's very what they say here is it's very any given Sunday. Anybody can beat anybody. It feels like in this World Cup so far. It's the games that you feel are going to be a blowout. There's been one or two that have been like, okay, this is a wash, but then ones that you're like, how did this team just tie, or make this a game, or anything like that, and it's like this has been almost like March Madness.
100%. That's what it is.
Uh-huh. So no, so I mean, like, do you think that Congo for getting a result against Portugal, whether however quality Portugal can be with CR7 on the field or CR7 off, pero do you think that momentum that they have can carry over to us, or do we just have to take advantage of that?
Okay, before I answer your question, we have somebody here saying, pero ¿qué dice? Esto no es en español. No, estos episodios son en inglés. Estos son en inglés. Lo que hacemos en español es las garzas, cuando hacemos español para Enter Miami. Pero igual, aquí te hablamos bilingüe si quieres, pero este programa es en inglés. Okay, so back,
como quiera, whatever. Lo cambiamos, ponemos subtítulos.
Hablamos los dos, te vamos a hacer bilingüe. But like I was saying, I think they're being unfair with the legend Cristiano Ronaldo. I think they're being completely unfair, like within the team and outside, like the media and stuff are like picking on him in this particular tournament for some reason. He didn't play terrible the last game. He had some opportunities that weren't great, and it doesn't look like the team. I was talking with my son before the match, and he was saying, look, when you see Argentina, you see that they play and they structure around Messi to make him comfortable, and they play through him for him. You don't see that in Portugal. You don't see them, looking for him. You don't see them trying to work so he can be comfortable and be in the position to make the goal. So I don't think he's played terrible. I think actually he's played better than I expected, because I thought, in Saudi Arabia, he was not going to come back in good form. He hasn't been terrible. I think you have to give him a little more respect, though. And I don't want him to wake up against Colombia, because that's how things happen. But I think that in general, Portugal is a team problem. I think they're not cohesive. They're not playing together. They don't look like they're all going in the right direction. Like if you saw after the game now with Norway, everybody, they got together and they were celebrating, doing their thing. Well, I think in Portugal, some guys are going like this and other guys are going forward.
Pretty much.
They're not coordinated. And I think that's the problem in Portugal, because the talent is there, but it doesn't.
They're on the same boat, but going different directions.
And that's why the boat is going around like that. So that's the problem. And hopefully they continue to do that and continue to do that against Colombia, and we can, top the group. But I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo is the main problem. I don't think so, no.
No, at least for tomorrow, we don't have the fancy graphics. But for DR Congo, I think their main guy is Wisa.
Number 20, yes, yes, very
20.
talented.
He was the one. He's very good guy. Very good player. I think he was probably the one that equalized the game against Portugal in their first game. So I think he's the one that we need to watch out for. Everybody else doesn't seem like. I mean, granted, I don't know much about your Congo.
It's a fast-paced team.
It's a fast-paced team. These honestly, todos estos, equipos africanos, they've been lighting it up in this mundial. So
the rise of Africa. That's
the rise of Africa is for sure.
This is the rise of Africa in this tournament, and it's funny because it's the rise of Africa, but a lot of the African teams have players from Europe that they're actually, they were born or raised or have gone through the academy systems and done stuff.
Or just descendants of, that's
Europe.
where they were born in.
Through Europe, right? So it's the Rise Africa through Europe, apparently. But it's good to see. It's good to have a good atmosphere. You know what was interesting? That tomorrow, the famous fan from DR Congo, the one that stands.
Yes, he got to the airport just yesterday.
Yes. He's gonna be at the game. So I hope that doesn't pump him up, or I hope that
That's what I'm saying. This is their secret weapon.
I hope that in one of those, if he's standing behind the goal, like Luis or James takes a shot and whack him in the head and knock him down or something, so he has to move.
Exactly. I saw. It was so funny. He came up. He's so happy. I've never seen this guy smile. He's gone viral. It's like the famous statue guy from Congo.
Yeah, that's amazing. Viral. That's amazing. That's gonna be cool.
And they did the same thing. I don't know. Obviously, the different case was the Cape Verde goalkeeper Vozinha. His mom came all the way from Cape Verde. They dieron la visa and everything. So
he's the goalkeeper for the Miami FC here down here. The local team, which is crazy. Now he 15 stops in a game. He's only second to Tim Howard. Some people say
no. That was Eloy Room. Yeah, Eloy Room. And
sorry, from Cape Verde. Yeah,
he used to play in Columbus.
Yes. No. It's a lot of nice stories. But back to Colombia. Let me see. That the only thing in this game, in this match, I need to see some of the guys step up. Like James, this is
Yeah,
gonna be a tough
how do
game.
you feel like how do you feel like the
This is a
players
tough
did?
game for him. If you're talking to Coach Xavier, you say, "Hey, Coach Xavier, what are you gonna do?" I don't start James. I start John Arias as 10. And then I put a winger or make
Or do
some
you put
moves and
Quintero at, do you put Quintero at the 10, have him start?
no, I don't start him either. I start John Arias as a 10 because I want mobility and I want someone that can have pace up and down. And then I put another fast winger to counter to make sure
Who's that
that
one guy?
Carlos Gomez, el Tinito Gomez,
Yeah,
I can use
yeah,
him. I can use
you
him
put
there,
him on the right.
or you put Puerta a little higher, or you bring in Rios and Puerta a little higher, and you put Arias to the right. These are just things that I would use to counter their speed and their guys that we have possession. We have speed and we have possession. Colombia in the midfield has some decent players with speed and control, and I think we can control the match in that manner. With James, I think you bring him in the second half. Now, when you can slow the game down a little bit, and now you got him putting the balls up, and you got him maybe a little higher, maybe as a false nine to get him closer to the goal, because he's physically still not there, but obviously he's a very important player. Or if you want to try Quintero, give him some minutes. Yeah.
But do you feel like Uzbekistan was just like a good warm up game? It was low. No, it wasn't low risk, but it wasn't high reward at the exact same time. Porque like there was no harm, but I mean like he still got minutes under him.
I don't think they're as bad as people are saying. We're gonna see how they do against Portugal, and if Portugal puts 5 on them, 4 on them, 3-0 or something like that, then maybe they are as bad as people say. But I don't think they're as bad as people say. I think it was a proper win by Colombia, and I think that this game has to be a proper win by Colombia too. They need to win this game and win it convincingly to go to the final match versus Portugal with a tie being enough for them, and looking for the victory, looking for the win, because we need to have that mentality in every game against any team they play. Because historically, I get upset when Colombia comes in on a streak, comes in winning, comes in playing strong, and then
it's cómodos. They get
and it's a crucial. No, they get scared. It gets a crucial game, and instead of continuing to attack like they've done, then they'll sit and let the other team come, and that's when they lose. And they start attack too late. Play your game to win. To me, this is me. You don't have a history of winning huge games. You've only won one Copa America, and then people question that, which they shouldn't. And so what do you have to lose? Nothing. You have a very talented team. This is what I like about teams like Iran, Iraq, teams that come out and play. You go out and play your game, complicate the other team, make them defend too. Austria came out with no preconceived notions about Argentina. They came out to play their game. They came out to pressure. They came out to put a lot of effort, intensity. They had quality. Colombia can do that, and Colombia has, I think, more quality all around the pitch. So just go and play.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. But this is one, this is one you cannot look the opponent lightly. This is one that you have to, it doesn't matter if they're France, or if they matter if they're, the team, the Sunday League team. You have to, this is the opportunity you have. This is the World Cup. I can ganar. You got to go get these 3 points, and then you get in advance.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge because if you end up second or third, the next game is going to be super.
It's going to be harder.
That much more difficult.
Solidify your place on first in the group as quickly as you can.
Yeah, this is a big match. This is a big match, and I really hope that Uzbekistan surprises Portugal. And Portugal does like Belgium, how it comes in with a lot of fanfare and then just fan out. I feel bad for
at this point. We don't know what to expect with this World Cup. Anything that we could probably possibly predict it, we're just like it's gone out the window because anything can happen.
100%. And then these guys, we don't know exactly what Congo is going to do, because they did open up and they played toe to toe but they tend to also lay down, and set a low block and then just do the counter. If Colombia can get the ball and be patient, right, maintain, move it around, get it up, get it to Diaz, switch sides, bring it back, get James to put some through balls, get some shots from outside. I think we can be dangerous, but it's just you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to expect from Colombia. You don't know what to expect from Congo, right? You really don't know. So it's this is what this World Cup is giving you. It's wide open, like we're saying, right? But I have a feeling that Colombia is very focused and is a more mature, serious team for this World Cup, and they've been climbing steadily. They didn't make the last World Cup, but they made several before that, and they've made strides and they've made paces, and they're trending in the right direction, in my opinion. And I think you have to just justify and solidify it in this World Cup. One, because it's like you're playing at home, because Colombia is like at home.
It's home every game. I mean,
anywhere they're gonna go, it's like
last week. It was insane. Like that was like 95% full of a stadium, an Azteca full of white yellow. It was a sight to see. And you know what? Like, this is just go for it.
Jorge, in 2024, the final of the Copa America, I was there, and I thought
I was at the semifinal. I was at the semifinal.
Right when they played Argentina, and I thought before the match, this is going to be packed Argentina. No, the stadium was packed Colombia. Colombia dominated that. The thing is, the Argentinian fans, and I love them because they're super loud and super animated and intense during the whole match. So you can feel them and you can hear the atmosphere. But if you look, the stadium was yellow. The stadium was yellow during that game, and I didn't expect that. I said, it's Messi and Argentina. I thought it would be 50-50, more or less. No, it was more than there was a lot of Colombians. And I'm not even counting the ones that jumped in without a ticket. I'm talking in general. There was
the legal ones that didn't go through the border and walked across.
No, ones that jumped the fence and went through the AC. Yeah. Stuff. No, I'm not even counting that. So Colombia is a home team during this tournament, and they need to take advantage of that. They need to take advantage of this.
And exactly. It's 8 years in the making. It's one that you have to prove to yourself, prove to people watching that you didn't make tar, and you have to show yourself that you're actually legit, that you're top 20 in the world for a reason, top 20, top 25 in the world for a reason. And this is not a fluke. That even though, look, like, the crazy part is that a lot of these players this is their first World Cup, and also there's a beauty in, like, not being as experienced and just going for it. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's still a 90-minute game, una pelota and a jugar.
Yeah, it might be first World Cup, but most of these guys have experience in big games, which is a thing they have going. And it's a mature team. It's not a young team by any means. It's a mature team, and these guys are pretty much at their prime. It's now or never. It's now or never, and very few, if any, are guaranteed a second time, right? Maybe a guy like Puerta, who's 22, you think, he's going to be around and only going to get better. But everybody else, like Luis Diaz, he's 29. He just turned 29, right? So he'll be 33. If he's still around playing.
Old, though, still for your first World Cup, it's crazy.
It is because he didn't make the last one. They didn't make it. He would have been 25. But yeah, this is it. The time is now, Lorenzo. This is the time to show that you're actually a competent coach. Luis Diaz, this is the time to show that you are, and he showed it the first game, right? An assist and a goal. Let's see what he has in store now. Because what we're seeing is the star players are producing. The star players are producing. So
yeah, this is Lucho Diaz's coming out. He had a goal and an assist versus Uzbekistan. You keep it rolling.
Yeah, and we need. I want Arias is my guy in La Selección because I think he does everything well. Wherever they put him on the wing, they put him at attacking midfield, they put him on drop him middle back, wherever, put him up top. Wherever he goes, he's solid.
Swiss Army knife.
He's a solid player, and I want him to do well. And I need Luis Suarez to pretend that he's the Luis Suarez a little bit from Uruguay and give us some energy and some goals.
The younger version, not the
Up
one,
top.
not the 2026 version.
No, no, not that. And let me tell you, even that version can still play. Can still play
Yeah,
because he's got so much. He can't run as much anymore, but he has so much quality on his feet. With setting people up and scoring goals because he's been doing that lately. At least in the last few games with Inter Miami. So it's just look. What do we have? We need Camilo Vargas if we're looking at our team, right? We need Camilo Vargas to be sharp, not to
to be
give
sharp.
any.
That was inexcusable.
Yeah, that was a silly goal, right? That was a
That's a
silly
silly
goal.
goal.
What do we have on the left? People are criticizing Mojica and saying they should give Machado a shot. I don't know if he's going to make that change. I don't know if he's going to make a change like that in this game. Perhaps because Machado has a little bit more pace, is a little sturdier defensively. I don't know. But my two center backs, I will not touch. Sanchez and Lugami, I think played fantastic games. Daniel
If it's
Munoz.
not broke, don't fix it. If it's not
I
broke,
don't I don't think so, right? And Daniel Munoz, I think, well, obviously he scored a fantastic world-class goal, so he's earned that opportunity. We had last week, people question, hey, Puerta for Rios. I don't think they question that now after the type of game that he had, right? So you would have Puerta and Lerma again, how he plays with the 2-5
truthfully, I think the starting lineup is going to stay the exact same.
with
Whether we
James,
want,
James in
yeah,
front
whether
of him.
we, yeah, whether we want James to play little or play a lot, I think the more minutes he's going to get, the better he will be, and the more he sees the game, the more
He inspires the team. I mean, he inspires the team.
it's
He's
exactly
his
what it is.
inspiration. Well,
Bueno, pues
everybody knows that.
Xavier.
That a James at a good level definitely makes the team better because he clears when he gets the ball and gives the pass. He clears the way. He unlocks the locks.
He was the point guard, the old point guard.
So we need him. We need him to be sharp, man. We need him to be sharp.
Bueno, pues tomorrow, Colombia versus DR Congo, 10 p.m. These 10 p.m. starts are not helping, man. This is, whew.
Especially on a Tuesday night. These people think we don't have to work.
Man, but whatever. 10 p.m. What is your what's how do you see it going, and what's your score prediction?
Oh man, this is I expect it to be a tough game, but if Colombia is gonna be, I'm not gonna pick against them. I think they're gonna win. I want them to do another 3-1. I want them to do another 3-1 and really 3-0. But Congo's really fast. I'm gonna say 3-1, and then with that, I can believe. You know what? There's something there.
I think I'm honestly gonna go with the exact same 3-1, just because I feel like we have much more quality that they have. But I also want to give Congo their respect, the fact that they were able to, give Portugal a game for a team that many predicted to win this all or at least go to the semifinals. I got to give credit where credit is due. I still got 3-1. I got another Lucho Diaz brace. I mean, goal and an assist as well in this one.
That would be fabulous, dude. That would be fantastic if he's able to do that. Oh, that's good. So we're positive in that aspect. Hopefully, some of the people, when they can make some comments in the chat once they watching us live or the recording, give us what you think, what you feel, the preview, some insight. But I think it's going to be a nice matchup. It's going to be a fun game to watch. And I hope Uzbekistan puts it on at least ties with Portugal.
Yeah, the hate watch or the who we're rooting for is going to be a good fun watch for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was fun. We're going to have a post game hopefully soon or the next day because the games will end at like midnight. So we'll see.
And we gotta work.
Yeah, we know we still have a life. We're not playing in these games and getting paid thousands of dollars. So. That's a good. Thank you so much for everybody. This is great. We'll see you soon.
Peace.